Good morning, everybody. This is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. Today is October the 23rd, and we have the moon in Aquarius today and tomorrow. I am feeling very, very grateful, very, very humbled, very, very loved. And where we currently are with this moon in Aquarius, I have already been expressing what has been leading up to this, because we are currently in that integration period. The moon is here to help with that integration period. And the sun is designed to help with purification. The sun also enhance that integration period as well. So the sun, solar heat, helps with purifying us, which allows the element of water and air to rise, to allow, when it is time, the Holy Spirit to rise within you, to manifest within you. And the moon energies not only are making the hidden parts of who we are more visible, it's allowing what we have already purified to be integrated. So there are several phases here, depending on where you are in your journey, that's related to what the moon and the sun energies will do. Early on in your process, it's going to feel very pressing, because you are dealing with the hidden aspects of who you are a lot. Every day of the month for 12 months for the rest of our life, the moon is in some sign. Always is rotating. And you will have a period where the sun is enhancing a particular sign as well. The solar system is always rotating and always working, always attempting to purify us, always attempting to shed the ego. So, a long time ago, and I can't remember precisely, I know it's been over 6 months perhaps, and maybe I'm wrong, but God expressed to me the need to learn to be conscious. Learn to be conscious. I was learning in the process of learning to be conscious. Now, I have been attempting this ever since the beginning of my awareness of my spiritual journey. Learning to be conscious. It means learning to be awake in every given moment. Aquarius, I'm going to flip back and forth a little bit here, is associated with water and air. You have aqua, which is, of course, water from the Latin root word, and then we have Arius, which means air. And air is going to be the most important element here, because when we are dealing with air, it is specifically, this is right here pertaining to spirit. Air is related to the mind. It's related to the ego, to the mind that can reach lofty heights. The air, the mind, is related to thought, to intellect, to the buddhi, to the spiritual soul. Aqua, or water, is related to our root part of our body. It is related to the yasod, or foundation, within the tree of life. The water figure, the waters figure significantly in all religions. It plays a significant role, in all religions. The Bible often has spoken about the miracles related to water, and the miracles of Jesus particularly, but not limited to. The water performs magic, and this particularly is the water that is being mixed between two urns. Please bear with me here. Jesus talks about the water of life which springs up in the belly, which is, of course, if you have studied any kind of Chinese medicine, then you have heard of the Tan Tian, or the ocean of Qi, which is related with the lower abdomen. This is symbolic, again, of the sexual energy that I have been expressing here lately. And this is where the solar seed emanates from. And I have been talking about being able to harness our sexual energy for better use, instead of thinking in ego terms or selfishness, our own personal desires that will benefit ourselves. It is for the greatest overall experience. Sorry about that. I had to push pause. I have just had a sneeze fit. So the water and the air, or in other words, again, water and spirit, are two elements of Aquarius. In the Gospels, Jesus tells Nicodemus that we must be born again of water and spirit. There is hidden knowledge that is within this zodiacal sign. And this is the representation of birth, death, and sacrifice. When we think in terms of religion, you can say whatever you want. You can attach yourself to any form of religion. You can follow any master, recite the scriptures. But to awaken to consciousness is completely different. You must embody or practice the birth, death, and sacrifice. The death of the ego. Aquarius is the wife of Hercules. She is the symbol of Aquarius, as I just said. The same image of the woman with the two cups is Heb, not sure how to pronounce that, the wife of Hercules, which is the great warrior. When we end up following the footsteps of our forefathers or great masters, the heroes, we are learning to accomplish the factors of birth, death, and sacrifice. We arrive at the union of pure element, of pure psyche, of the pure consciousness, who is that divine feminine force who provides immortality and perfection. If you do not consciously utilize the tools, then you remain asleep. So, to be more conscious, and this is what I always talk about, when you are more mindful of your thoughts, more aware of your emotions, more aware of your words, more aware of your actions, and the consequences relating to that, you are living a conscious life. We have types of knowledge that is available to us. We have knowledge that we can read about, and you can read and read and read or ask for all kinds of information from other people. But if you aren't understanding it, then that's not knowledge. You're taking in information and it's being wasteful. Or you'll have knowledge that is taken in and people think, oh, because you have read so much, like I know so many people who can recite the Bible to me left and right, yet their life is in complete chaos, or their emotions are all over the place, or they are so full of fear, which means they have knowledge and can recite a book, but don't have personal knowledge. When you can have knowledge that you take in by what you are reading and have personal knowledge, that becomes divine knowledge that's been handed down to you. Because now you have experience and complete understanding, because now you have connected the dots from what you are going through to what you are reading or observing in life, and you understand it now. That becomes the process of you now being conscious of information in relationship to what's taking place. Now, if you are being mindful and aware of what you are going through, again, how information is taken in, for instance, if you're listening to the videos, and it makes sense to you from what you are experiencing and what I am expressing to you in my videos, and you use it to better your life, to help you be a better person, to help you treat others properly, to help you move forward in this growth process of yours to receiving, then you are being conscious. You are continuously being conscious in every single moment. And that's what it means to be in moments. Stay within the moment. When you are more present in each moment, you are conscious of your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, and how it affects everything. And that's what it means. And that's what this energy that is coming through is of Aquarius often does. It makes us try to be more conscious of what's taking place. Is our ego taking place? Or is it our heart? Is it our better experience? Is it our higher self? You know, for example, like you can say, you're a good friend with someone today, but then if you have an argument later on, they become your enemy. That is the ego that talks to you, and that is a false god. Your ego is the false god. And how about in one moment we are extremely happy, and the next we are extremely angry? And it depends on our everyday experience. So how you are seeing and observing your experiences will relate to your emotional state. If you don't like your experiences, you're going to have a negative response to it. That's an element that isn't under control, that hasn't been harnessed. And to be able to harness your emotions. It begins with being able to harness your sexual energy, to know the power of your sexual energy. And this is not about sex. This is about the energy of your complete being that gives you power. But it rises from our sexual region. So in one of my previous videos, I talked about the baptism. And that's also what this is about, because you have the death and you have a rebirth. In order to be reborn, you have to be purified first with water. And in order to be reborn, you have to be overcome by the Spirit, water, and air. So that's what is actually taking place. For those who are at that higher end here, you know where you currently are. Don't allow your ego to come into play here. This process is what it is. And if you are not at this level, don't feel bad about not being here. And if you, it's important for you to be truthful to yourself, be honest with yourself at where you are. And if you aren't here, it doesn't mean you're not going to be here. That's where your process is going to take you. As long as you stay conscious in every single moment and understand what is taking place within you by your emotional state. Are you observing your reactions in life? And when you can better balance those energies, when you can become an observer of it, it is what it is, kind of an attitude or reaction, and not have anything done, or you are someone who comes from love, the emotion of love, then this is the process of where you are going to be at. And I had a whole bunch here that I was going to really talk about, but so, you know, like another example is that if you are having an experience and you are feeling irritated by something, are you acting on that irritation and allowing that irritation to prolong throughout the day? And of course you can use anger. But then you are not being conscious of how you are feeling and how you are expressing that emotion. And this doesn't allow you to awaken fully. Yet, you can be somebody who is always expressing, oh, I am conscious, I am awake, I am raising my vibration. Because you are someone who is living within the ego, who is trying to feed and continuously feed and nurture the ego. And that's what the ego does. It wants you to continuously feed it nutrients. And if you are not conscious, not aware, not mindful of your expression, then, and how you're feeling, then you're feeding continuously into the ego. And your ego is going to begin to lie to you. And that's why you will have a lot of people who are attempting to teach or be masters who can tell you things by the book because they have read and read and read. And they have knowledge, intellectual knowledge, but they don't have personal knowledge, which of course leads you to spiritual knowledge from within. That intense transformation that takes place when you have been handed grace. So to be conscious is to really know yourself, and to know how you are always expressing. And this isn't done in a day, 2 days, 3 days. And this sometimes can take a lifetime. It depends on how you are learning. How often are you observing yourself? Can you teach yourself to be mindful with your every step, with your every breath? And it can be done as quickly as you can learn. You know, who we are is about our expression. It is about the energy we are taking in and the energy that we are giving back. And there's a natural law that takes place, that where your focus is, that what you give, you receive back. The emotions that you always feel is the emotion and the circumstance that you're going to continuously attract. Life doesn't dictate what is good and what is bad. Your own personal psyche does that. So your circumstance is going to be in relationship to what your internal psyche already has within. And you're going to self-project that circumstance, the experience, to you. And when you are more conscious and more aware of that expression, your own projection, and not be judgmental about what is actually being projected, because there can be because your expression and your projection can be different than mine, because we have two different brains, two different minds that are thinking in terms of past expressions and trauma. When you learn to observe it without judgment and understand it as an internal process that needs to be taken back apart and rebuilt properly, then you are living within a conscious mind. You are fully awake and can be fully awake. When you can eliminate I need this, I have to do that, this is for me kind of attitude in everything, the death of the ego is at hand. And this is why embodying love, or asking, does this resonate with love, will help you do so. Does your emotion reflect love? Is this what Christ would do? Whatever it is that you have to use to help you find greater understanding is. It doesn't matter who's involved, what experience comes up. It's occurring no matter what, who we live with, and whatever it is, it's occurring. And if it affects you in a negative aspect, it is because you have an emotion and an element that hasn't been harnessed properly that needs to be dealt with. So bottom line, I had a bunch here that I was going to read off of my notes here. But I am going to kind of end it here. Well, it's kind of ironic, the information I was, this morning, in the Bible verses today. It says, "For whoever shall save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the Gospels, the same shall save it." That's for today's verse, and which is Mark 8:35, and I think yesterday's was whoever wants to be my let me see what it is. This is actually in Mark 8:34. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. So, what does Mark 8:35 mean? For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, but whosoever shall lose his life for my sake in the Gospels, the same shall save it. What does it mean? Those who think with the ego, who think they are know-it-alls, are going to experience death, because the ego is a part, again, of the lower animalistic behavior, the fall of Eden, lower vibrational emotions, lower vibrational thoughts that will not get you anywhere in life. This is the concept of hell. And whoever will lose his life, lose that ego, for the gospel, for the Holy Spirit, for light, and for love, you shall have it restored. So that's where we are. And that's what this moon in Aquarius is attempting to give us. The holy baptism. Water in air, water in spirit, to be purified with the holy water within us, that holy element of sexual water, energy water, and allow our own rebirth to give us spirit. So I hope this touches your heart, allows you to know where we currently are. I hope that you are expressing yourself with love, seeing yourself with love. Most importantly, seeing yourself with love. When you see yourself with love, you see your experiences with love. Yet, in order to see yourself with love, you have to train yourself to see your experiences and others with love. It's a cycle that is seen from within and seen on the outside of us. A cycle that has to be seen on the outside of us to be within. From within to without, and from without within. When Christ said that if you can make the masculine feminine, the feminine masculine, the in and the out and the in, therefore you can see the kingdom. I mentioned that verse, I guess it was from the Gospel of Thomas a while back. And that is the complete death of the ego and the complete life of spirit. And that is where we are headed. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.